Heidi.
You're alive.
Mia, a successful defense attorney, and her spouse, Cal, are experiencing troubles in their marriage. The issues include Cal's emotional connection with a childhood companion and his strong ties to his mother and brother, suggesting Mia is not his top priority. In a counseling session, Cal abruptly leaves to tend to a call from his ailing mother, leaving Mia to conclude the session alone. Despite Cal's emotional affair and his mother's illness, Mia grapples with keeping his secrets and managing expenses. At Cal's mother's 60th birthday celebration, Mia plans to cope by having a stiff drink before dealing with her challenging mother-in-law, Azalea. Azalea immediately becomes difficult upon seeing Mia, making snide remarks about her punctuality and hinting at her potentially being Cal's next wife. Cal's close childhood friend is also present, seated beside him as per Azalea's insistence, a situation Mia reluctantly tolerates. Cal surprises his mother by gifting her an expensive present, bought using Mia's money without her knowledge. At a family gathering, Mia sits beside her sister-in-law, Charlize, who is married to Cal's brother, Ray. The conversation turns uncomfortable when Charlize reveals buying paintings by a painter named Zaire, upsetting Ray. During the drive home, Cal apologizes to Mia for purchasing the watch and admits to selling their piano to afford it. He justifies this by mentioning that since Mia no longer played it, she shouldn't mind its sale. Cal stresses his wish to support his ailing mother, who has been a pillar of strength for him. The next day at work, Mia encounters Zaire, a painter accused of murder. Zaire recounts police raids damaging his commissioned artworks and vehemently denies the murder allegations, blaming a grudge held by the DA. Despite concerns about conflicts of interest due to her brother-in-law being the DA, Zaire insists on hiring Mia and offers to pay her. Mia agrees to review the case and asks him to leave his contact information with her secretary instead of exchanging numbers. Skipping ahead, Mia and Charlize exit the gym and encounter protesters outside a local gallery, urging the removal of Zaire's art, which the gallery owner ignores. Mia mentions Zaire's request for representation and considers it, while Charlize notes Ray's interest in the negative talk about Zaire. Later that evening, as Mia reviews Zaire's files, Cal confronts her upon learning about her contemplation of representing Zaire. He insists that she refrain from taking the case, emphasizing that she shouldn't oppose his brother. Mia boldly confronted him with her money, demanding he pick a bill to pay. It's revealed she's been covering medical expenses for Cal's uninsured mother. Cal, an anesthesiologist fired for substance abuse, hasn't told his family. After their argument, Mia meets Zaire at his home. Inside, she finds him painting and feels a sense of longing. Zaire urges her to explore before discussing business. Mia directs Zaire to share all he knows, and he begins by recounting his romance with Heidi, starting in Italy and ending mysteriously after an exhibition. Mia questions Zaire about the crime scene, noting the extensive blood splatter that even extended to the neighbor's property. She informs him about skull fragments discovered in one of his paintings and initiates a thorough interrogation that unsettles him. Presenting a video where his ex accuses him of plotting her murder, Zaire refutes its validity, perplexed by her motives for recording it. Despite the compelling evidence, such as a $3 million life insurance policy taken out on the victim, Zaire's apparent lack of knowledge about these events leads Mia to consider representing him. That evening, upon returning home, Mia finds her mother and brother-in-law waiting for her. Azalea cooked dinner for them, but the tense atmosphere made sharing a meal with someone holding animosity uninviting. Ray announces his mayoral candidacy, heightening tensions within the family. He subtly hints at knowing about Mia potentially representing Zaire.
Excuse me? Your brother-in-law is going to win that case.
As Ray aims to implicate him without noble intentions like safeguarding women or public safety. Although she doesn't reveal her decision that night, Mia opts to represent Zaire. The next day, Charlize apologizes for Azalea and Ray finding out about Zaire. Mia questions Charlize's motives for bringing up Zaire, feeling frustrated and trying to hide her anger amidst Azalea's sickness and family discord. Mia is visited by Jimmy, her childhood friend, and a trusted private investigator who is like family to her. Sensing her stress, Jimmy takes her for a walk. He had informed Mia about Cal's troubles before his job loss and has been closely monitoring the situation. dedicated to supporting Mia. Jimmy has been trying to locate Heidi's family in Mexico without success. During their discussion, he picks up on Mia's hesitancy about representing Zaire and hopes she is doing it based on a belief in his innocence rather than anger towards her in-laws. Mia reassures him of her conviction. In a meeting with the judge and Ray to address conflicts, Ray accuses Mia of taking the case out of spite. Surprisingly, the judge allows Mia to represent Zaire, but warns them both of the consequences if things go wrong. Moving forward, Jimmy engages Zaire in conversation to assess his character. Jimmy brings up a statement from one of Zaire's former partners describing their intense sexual encounters, where Zaire displayed aggressive behavior. Zaire argues that the encounters were mutual and passionate. While observing Zaire, Jimmy notices him smiling while recalling intense moments, mentioning that he ended things with a partner who couldn't handle the intensity. When asked about similar activities with Heidi, Zaire denies it, emphasizing his deep love for her. After questioning Zaire and sensing deception, both Jimmy and Mia doubt Zaire's honesty. Jimmy decides to investigate further in Mexico, while Mia advises Zaire on maintaining a credible image and cautions him about potential drug tests. In their discussion, Zaire professes his love for Heidi, denies hurting her, and downplays the significance of the ex's statement. Mia assures Zaire that Jimmy will uncover the truth. A few days later, Jimmy updates Mia on his search progress, mentioning challenges in finding Heidi's family or birth records. Despite the obstacles, Jimmy remains committed to the search. Then, Mia asks Zaire about Renee Carter, the gallery owner from earlier. Zaire reveals that Renee supported his art career and connected him with influential people, but became bitter when he left her for someone else after achieving success. Zaire tries to establish a personal connection with Mia, but she steers the conversation back to the main topic. Understanding Zaire's struggle of being overlooked, she shares her own challenges of looking after her husband and mother-in-law. Zaire seizes on this moment and encourages Mia to express her marital feelings through art, guiding her to paint waves in the color blue. Uncomfortable with their closeness, Mia excuses herself, citing a train she must catch. Zaire offers to drive her home on his motorcycle, but she opts for an Uber to maintain distance. While on the train, Mia reflects on her discussions with Zaire, particularly the intimate details from his file. Despite Zaire's subtle attempts at flirting, Mia starts feeling an attraction towards him, even daydreaming about taking risks. Upon reaching home, she decides to reconnect with her husband. The next day, Cal arrives with flowers for Mia, who keeps her distance.
How about dinner tonight? No, after therapy.
During their conversation, Zaire interrupts by touching her back, trying to introduce himself to Cal, who shows no interest and leaves. When Zaire asks why Mia didn't visit his loft, she explains her preference for meeting at the office for better focus. Zaire expresses discomfort with the media attention and insists on meeting at his loft, despite Mia's advice. The following day, Mia visits Zaire at his loft, where he reveals his feelings for her and praises different aspects of her. Despite his advances, Mia redirects the conversation to the case. Feeling rejected, Zaire opens up about his trust issues and proposes to find a new lawyer. Zaire abruptly decides to go dancing, disregarding Mia's concerns about being seen. He urges her to leave as he plans to head out. Hesitating briefly, Mia ultimately decides to follow him down a dimly lit staircase to a vibrant party happening below. The following day, Mia meets Zaire once more, and he apologizes. Mia emphasizes her desire to maintain professionalism and set boundaries. Zaire questions her boundaries and attempts to kiss her neck, but he is not alone that night. As Mia leaves to give him privacy, she catches a glimpse of a painting, a depiction of her face. Meanwhile, Zaire engages in intimate activities with another person, making sure Mia watches as she tries to leave. He only allows her to depart when he decides. After this unsettling encounter, Mia receives a photo from Jimmy showing Cal with his childhood friend entering a hotel room, which deeply upsets her. Determined, she returns to Zaire's place, where they share intimate moments, leading Mia to ride on a bike with him and engage in further intimacy. Later, a painting of Mia hangs above the bed, symbolizing Zaire's hold over her. Mia, unaware of the consequences, becomes entangled in a relationship that could jeopardize her career. In a fast forward, Mia arrives at work to find Charlize and her husband anxiously waiting for her. Mia initially disregards her husband's concerns until Charlize mentions the Winston Hotel, revealing that everyone is there for Azalea's health. Feeling guilty, Mia visits Zaire to resign as his lawyer, referring him to someone else. Despite Zaire's assurance of secrecy, she decides to end their professional relationship. Meeting with Renee, Mia learns about Zaire's manipulative patterns, including his use of art to control women. Renee's account mirrors Mia's experience, with Zaire employing similar tactics of painting portraits and hanging them above his bed. Disturbed, Mia heads to Zaire's place, removes the portraits, and discovers him working on a new painting featuring multiple portraits before Heidi's, resembling her own artistic journey. After visiting Ray's house with Cal, Mia senses tension in the room immediately. Ray and Azalea regard her suspiciously, and Ray positions Cal beside him. Aware that Mia reported an inappropriate client relationship to the judge, Ray hesitates, prompting Mia to disclose the situation to Cal. Charlize attempts to defuse the situation, but Ray silences her, while Azalea criticizes Mia and suggests Cal deserves better. Cal urges Mia to be honest, leading Mia to confess her relationship with Zaire. Cal reacts by getting upset and questioning Mia, eventually admitting to his struggles with job loss and rehab. Despite this, Charlize follows Mia outside to offer support, though she is called back inside by her husband, leaving their conversation unfinished. Skipping ahead, Mia finds herself in Guatemala watching Chicago news. The report reveals that Zaire accepted a plea deal with the chance of parole. Jimmy contacts Mia, concerned about her well-being and Cal's, mentioning Cal's return to counseling. Despite Jimmy's worry, Mia brushes off the conversation, promising to check in later. While jogging, Mia unexpectedly encounters Heidi, believed to be deceased, who then steals Mia's phone after a brief chase. Frustrated with the lack of police assistance, Mia reaches out to Charlize, requesting to speak with Ray, surprising both of them. Mia informs Ray that Heidi is alive, claiming Zaire's innocence. Ray becomes alarmed upon learning of Jimmy's intent to investigate, urging Mia to return to the US for assistance. Despite warnings, Mia decides to confront Zaire alone, a decision that may prove to be a significant mistake. Charlize's presence offers an opportunity for guidance, yet Mia proceeds independently. Jimmy contacts Mia, sharing shocking details via email that lead her to a red-lit room where she discovers portraits of Charlize, unveiling Charlize's affair with Zaire as the reason behind Ray's determination to imprison him. Amidst this revelation, mother-in-law approached Mia under the guise of offering assistance, but Mia, sensing something amiss, accidentally breaks her phone during the encounter. Ray and Mustard's behavior raises Mia's suspicions, especially when Ray unexpectedly offers her a drink. Mia manages to forward Jimmy's email to Ray exposing Azalea's cancer lie, unaware that Ray is already aware. Ray expresses his disapproval of Mia, revealing his past objections to Cal marrying her. In a shocking turn, Ray hands Charlize a knife, intending harm, but Charlize retaliates, leading to a struggle that leaves her unconscious. In the chaos, Mia confronts Mustard and Law, subduing Mustard before fleeing the house. Ray attacks her outside, but Mia escapes in a pickup truck. Ray, Mustard, and Law pursue her, clinging to the truck as Mia crashes it into a tree and flees on foot. Spotting a car, Mia realizes it's Cal. Initially appearing concerned, Cal's behavior shifts as Mia overhears a call, revealing his complicity with Ray. Cal confesses to being manipulated by Ray, who advocates violence to control Mia. A confrontation ensues, leading Mia to cause a fatal accident that results in Cal's death. Ray is arrested, Zaire is freed, and Mia severs ties with her past, ignoring Zaire's attempts to reconnect. She disposes of her phone, symbolizing her decision to move on from the turmoil.